becomes hurt. He's got some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now. It's four. And Charlton.
Heartbreak turns into sheer delight, orgasmic jubilation. Ika goes ballistic disco, heavenly. If you doubted this wasn't destiny, believe it now.
What's going to have to deal with that? Hasn't quite done so. Ibrahimovic, surely not. Oh! Now that is brilliant. Wow. That is truly exceptional. You've got something to talk about tonight.
The samba party is well underway. The football in Brazil has blown the South African World Cup out of the water already. Bookie Insiders is back. I'm Dave O'Grady. Mailman and Seaman join me on this beautiful summer's evening. Mailman, we're really enjoying the World Cup at the moment, I think it's probably fair to say. But we've got Ghana against the USA. Ghana, of course, surprised us all in the World Cup, in the last World Cup. If it wasn't for Luis Suarez taking one for the team, they might have got a lot further than they did. But they've got USA, another team that bring it at the World Cup, and of course USA, Clint Dempsey. Need I say more?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the man to go to. He's probably going to start up front with Josie Altidore, with Michael Bradley supporting them in attacking midfield. The Americans are going to be hungry for a win here after losing 2-1 to Ghana in the 2010 World Cup, and also losing out in the 2006 World Cup. So big rivalry between the two teams. We're going to go for USA to win, draw, no bet.
USA win, draw, no bet. You can get them over 2.5 goals, 10-11 with Coral, and both teams to score 8-11 with Bet365. CMAC, welcome back to the show. This is a very interesting one because there is a good chance that both these teams are scoring, and this could be a World Cup classic.
This could be one of the great ones, Dave. I think a lot of people underestimate the USA, and that might be the wrong thing to do. I mean, Ghana certainly have the more recognisable players on paper, the likes of Boateng and Asamoah Gyan and Sully Montari and players like that. But I mean, the USA, they really bring it at the big tournaments, as you said, and with Jurgen Klinsmann over them, I mean, they really have to be taken serious. Both teams, neither team will want to lose the first game of the tournament, especially knowing that they've Portugal and Germany to face, two teams that could go on and win the tournament. So I mean, both will be looking for a win here. I think the bets you mentioned there will be my picks for this one. Over 2.5 at 10-11 with Coral, and both teams to score at 8-11. I think the USA should have no problem getting on the score sheet, and when you've got the likes of Asamoah Gyan up top for Ghana, you know, there's going to be goals there.
Another great bet I think was going to be Michael Bradley anytime goal scorer at 9-1. That's with Ladbrokes. They're significantly better priced on that one.
Yeah,
he scored CMAC 12 goals he's got in his international career, but the fact that he's pushing, he's going to be playing in a more an offensive role, I think it's good value. It's
great value, and as they say, those American players, they turn into different players when they put on the national team's jersey. It really is remarkable.
And just on Mailman's one earlier on the USA draw no bet, that's actually available at 6-5 with Betfic. That's a huge price.
Yeah.
Great value there for Ghana taking on the USA at the World Cup. Belgium, the golden generation, are going to be taking on Algeria very soon. CMAC, Belgium, very impressive in the warm-up games, very impressive in their World Cup qualification. Of course, they were in that group with Croatia, and they really took it at a canter. They really strolled through. Algeria, of course, got that famous draw with England at the South Africa World Cup, but I don't think anybody is really expecting Algeria to do anything here.
No, I mean, they're going to be the whipping boys in this group. They really are. They're going to finish bottom of the group, I think. Belgium. I mean, where do we start with Belgium? It is really the golden generation. It's all kind of come good for them for this World Cup. Most soccer fans will know all of their players from 1 to 11. You know, they've got big names: Witsel, Lukaku, Hazard, Courtois in goals, of course, Kompany, Vertonghen. I mean, you could go on. That they've got an immense team, and they should have no hassle winning this one. Algeria, I mean, we don't know too much about Algeria. I mean, African sides, I'm not a fan of African sides in football. Some of them play attractive football, but for the most part, I think they're boring enough to watch.
Yeah, Algeria as well. I think they've never won a World Cup game either. A couple of recognisable names on the side: Bentaleb from Spurs and Feghouli from Valencia, but I can't see them getting a result in that group. I can see them finishing on 0 points.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they even managed to get more than 1 or 2 goals in the tournament. I mean, I think that would be a real bonus for them, Dave, you know. So for this game, what we'd be looking at is Belgium to be winning at half time and full time. With Sky Bet, it's as big as 5-4. That's a massive price. And also Lukaku to score anytime. He's going to be the main man now with Benteke out for the World Cup. So Lukaku anytime is 10-11 with Bet365.
Big price. Lukaku 10-11 with Bet365. And if you want to go for Belgium half-time, full-time, you can get them at 5-4 with Sky Bet. Some terrific bets there, and no doubt our Bookie Insiders lads have steered us in the right direction. The hosts, Brazil, take on Mexico. Mexico, of course, had a good win. Brazil had a good win, although a referee decision kind of helped them along their way, helped get their World Cup off to a good start. Everybody says about Mexico, Mailman, that they seem to be one of the luckiest teams in the World Cup. They seem to come through every year. I know Ozzy Arziles was making the point that maybe it's quite unfair on the European teams because Central American teams seem to have it a lot easier. You have the likes of Honduras in there, but nevertheless, this has all the markings of a good game, particularly if Mexico bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams are going to be aware that a victory in Natal is going to mean qualification. I really can't see past Brazil losing this game. They were getting a little bit exposed on the flanks when they were playing against Croatia, but for me it's definitely going to be a Brazil victory. I like Brazil and both teams to score at 5-2. I think it's going to be a very open, free-flowing game, so I'm expecting goals at either side.
We're going to have some rivalry here, Dave. So I'd be completely against that. I do think Brazil will win, of course, but I'm going to have a little rival bet here against the mailman. I'm going to go Brazil to win to 0 at 5-4 with Betfred. I think Mexico, they wasted so many chances in front of goal against Cameroon. They were very poor. They just lacked the killer touch in front of goal. And although I do think, and I've said it many times, Brazil are very shaky at the back in defence. I mean, David Luiz is no defender. I mean, they're very shaky at the back, so Brazil to win to 0, 5-4.
Mexico also, they looked very shaky at the back from set pieces against Cameroon. So I'm looking at one of the bigger players on the Brazil side, Thiago Silva, to score any time at 12-1. I think from a corner or a set piece, he could be likely to score.
Yeah, we'll see if Mexico can organise themselves for that one. A couple of good prices there. Brazil to win and both teams to score 5-2 from the mailman there. And as C-Mac was saying, who differs in opinions, he's going Brazil to win to 0 at 5-4 with Betfred. You can also get Brazil to score in both halves at 21-20 with Betfred, so there's certainly value there. Lads, one of the most exciting games, anticipated games, probably before the World Cup, C-Mac, but nevertheless, now the way things have gone early on in the group stages, this match means so much more. Spain taking on Chile, a massive game for group qualification. This match will see what the world champions Spain are made of. Can they do it? Chile, of course, had that win. They were far too good for Australia, it's probably fair to say, but are you expecting goals in this one?
Yeah, I expect goals, Dave. I mean, everyone knows it's not Chile's style to sit back and defend. I mean, they're going to be out there, they're going to play football. I mean, watching them the other night, I was just discussing the game. They pass the ball so well. They're like a Barcelona or a Spain side, but they pass it so fast. It's all done at pace. I mean, some passes do go straight. They're not as ironed out as the likes of Spain, but their passing game it's great to watch, and they love bombing forward down the wings, cutting inside the likes of Vargas, then and Sanchez, lethal in front of goal, as everyone knows. So, I mean, I'm expecting goals here. Spain on the other side, what a letdown they were in that opening game against Holland. I mean, nobody expected that. Maybe, okay, a few people might have expected Holland to win, but 5-1, that's crazy. So I do expect Spain to take some of their frustrations out on Chile, and I expect Spain to shade this one, maybe 2-1, 3-2, something like that.
Yeah, I can see a close encounter as well. Spain were very, very poor against Holland. I think they're going to have to make some changes. You start Diego Costa.
I thought Costa was very poor the last day. He wasn't himself.
Does the Brazilian crowd, is it getting inside his head maybe?
I don't know if it's even that. I mean, we've seen Spain dominate international tournament without playing with any strikers. So I mean, they could just play with no front man and go out and do what they do, keep the ball, maybe look to get a 1-0 victory, but that's going to be very hard against a team like Chile.
Yeah, I think it could work if they go back to basics, maybe play Fabregas in the false 9 position, and do what they do best instead of playing a more direct style of play, which they attempted against Holland.
Yeah, I mean, just to say that the last 2 times they played, I mean, it was the last time they played last year, it was 2-2, and the time before that was 3-2 to Spain. So I mean, they are high scoring games, so it'll be interesting to see what Spain come out with.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys go along with the point that the Spanish team has been dethroned? This is the end of an era. We looked at what happened with Barcelona over the years, Xavi, Messi, they don't still have it. A lot of people are saying that. Surely that's not true, because the strength in depth there is always going to... Are they their own worst enemy?
I think this squad that they have in this World Cup is just as good as the team that won the World Cup in 2010. So they don't have any excuses. They've got so much depth in that squad, and I just think they just need to jiggle around with the tactics and get it right. Yeah,
as well as that, I think Iker Casillas shouldn't be starting in goals. I mean, a lot of people are divided on that. He has had a great career, but I think he's just past it now.
Very, very poor.
He's making so many mistakes, coming out for balls he should be staying in for, going up for balls and missing them. He's just making too many mistakes, and I think they need a new leader in that team.
De Gea is actually injured as well. He's been ruled out for the group stages, so
yeah. I mean, Pepe Reina, I think, is on the bench, is he? Who knows? Maybe he could do a small bit better, but I just think Casillas was very, very poor the last day.
And a quick bet on this one: are you going for Spain to win, silence the critics?
Yeah, my only bet on this one, I think, will be Spain to win. I do think they're going to get it right. They're not world champions for no reason. They're going to come out, they're going to put up a fight. Chile are an impressive side, and I'd love to see Chile get out of the group, but I mean, in a group where you have Chile, Holland and Spain, you can't have all 3 of them getting out, unfortunately. So I do think Spain will come out and prove a point here and get them at 8-11 with Betfred. It's a huge price.
Spain to win, 8-11, Betfred, huge price. See if the world champions can bounce back after that disappointing defeat to Holland. And speaking of Holland, mailman, I'm looking at this match where they're going to be going up against Australia, and there's one thing I'm thinking of: one-way traffic.
Absolutely, I think this one is going to be a big victory for the Dutch. I can see it ending 4-5-0 perhaps. Holland know that a victory again, it's gonna mean qualification for them. They're coming up against Australia, who were very unlucky not to get something against Chile. The height advantage, obviously playing against the smallest team in the World Cup, had a big impact, and you could see that in the game. But they're not going to have that against the Dutch. Their only right back for the tournament, the Australians, Franich, he's out for the tournament, so that's another position that they're going to need to fill. So my tip for this one is actually going to be Holland to win 2-0 at evens. I cannot see Australia scoring a goal here.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I couldn't agree more. It's probably one of the bets of the week, really. Even money on Holland to win 2-0 it's huge, Dave. I mean, as Mailman alluded to, Australia, they've been very poor. I mean, without Tim Cahill, for me, they're just a very, very average side. I mean, I'd almost go as far as to say the Republic of Ireland would beat them, and that's not great.
And we're not gonna see the Australians park the bus either, because they know that they need to get something from this game. So they're going to give up some space at the back, and there's going to be a few goals in this one too.
Yeah, 2 other bets I like for this one, just that I think are at decent prices. RVP to score any time is at 4-5. I'd expect that to be a lot shorter come the game day. And also Holland to score in both halves is 5-6. That'll be one of my bets of the week, along with Holland to win 2-0. So to score on both halves, 5-6 there.
A very, very big price. Terrific stuff there from the lads. Just before we go, the Bookie Insiders World Cup package is going from strength to strength, mailman. BookieInsiders.org is the way to go if you want to get the best tips, banter and action. You've been very successful so far.
Yeah, we have been giving out a few free tips which have been coming in, and also on this podcast, but where the real money's being made is on the pro package. We've only lost, I think, 3 out of about 15 tips so far. Anybody that's purchased that package has made a lot of money, so we're hoping to keep that going.
Yeah, it's good that we have a World Cup that's full of goals, full of action. It's not like the South African World Cup where we're shut up shop trying to squeeze almost tips out of that one.
Yeah, this has been the best World Cup for me, honestly. I've watched I've watched every World Cup since '94, and this one's been so entertaining. Averaging 3.5 goals per game.
37 goals in 11 games so far.
Nice.
It's immense.
Incredible stuff. They say we're gone to the home of football. Well, it's certainly showing that way. Lads, thanks a million for joining us on Bookie Insiders podcast. We'll do it all again very, very soon. Remember, check out bookieinsiders.org for the best tips, banter and bets. From myself, Dave O'Grady, take care.
Are you the type of punter that gives money to the bookmakers week in, week out? Always chasing the big win by putting on brainless accumulators, lucky 15s, or scorecasts? Well, here on Bookie Insiders, we assure you that will change. We've already made our current long-term members over £5,000 in profits. Our philosophy is simple. We put in a lot of research and analysis, but most importantly, we remain disciplined through winning and losing streaks. We bet only on singles, and we keep our stakes at a flat rate of £50 per bet. Remember, it's easy to make money from betting if you do it right. Become a pro member today and start earning cash doing what you love. Visit bookieinsiders.com.